So Suwak right here. So we have Suwak right down here, playing as Empire. His ally MaCrOzerg has fallen on the right side. Across the map is Prawsha has fallen, and on the top of the map we have Aegis playing as Empire. So once again it's a mirror where the players are across the map. We'll see if they will go for the same strategy once again. I mean MaCrOzerg and Suwak with that quick expansion, because it worked for them and seemed like MaCrOzerg is going for that again. Even though we see some difference here. He's actually making a control form in this weird area. Also Aegis is closing here. Maybe going for expansion, but not immediate, just trying to prepare for that. MaCrOzerg is trying to make some extra harvesters, which will make the expansion even slower, and overall his opener will be even slower. But as you can see, Suwak is probably once again going there to build a tower for him. Or maybe he's just going to explore, we will see. Seems like he maybe won't be helping him like he did last time, which I really liked. It was nice defense, but we'll have to see. Of course the expansion is like between them, which is also really nice. It was like that also last time, I think, where the expansion was here and they were on these positions, so it's definitely nice. He's going for the tower just a little bit later. Maybe it was the same last time, I just didn't remember it. But we see 3 hives from Prawsha, so maybe potentially some rush with hive stingers. Aegis only 1 barracks, so I don't think it will be like a team rush, but maybe some high pressure harass from Prawsha in the early game. That might be the case. Suwak just spamming more of everything. Also only 1 barracks. So this is really balanced. We see 1 tower from Aegis here, but Suwak also has 1 tower just in his allies town. We see the peasant here. Sorry. He's probably going to die to the hive stinger, but anyway, he's trying to explore. Yeah, those explosive peasants, it's actually quite useful. Peasant is pretty quick unit. You can also build towers there if they don't pay attention to it. You can also of course scout the enemy strategy potentially, and you can mainly also slow down the enemy. So if he pays attention to it, to the peasant you just run around, you can just drag multiple units there around. This is different from last time. They actually found out about the expansion immediately. Unfortunately there is the tower, so I don't think they will be able to deal with that. But last time they didn't even find it, so I don't think they even saw the expansion during the whole game. Right now it's a little bit different, but to be honest I don't think they can really do anything about it. Prawsha is trying to rather rush Suwak, who of course doesn't have a tower here since he built it at his teammate's town. Also no one can really help him, because MaCrOzerg has his own problems. He also doesn't have any population. Actually, I think Prawsha might be, Suwak might be just straight up dead here. I don't think he expected this rush of hive stingers from Prawsha. Maybe another tower near to his villagers would be nice. But once he got in like this, stopped the tower, I really feel like this might be a problem. Of course, MaCrOzerg will try to pump some hive stingers there, but it might be too late. He just really underestimated his own self-defense. He went all in for that expansion of his ally, even built the tower there, also scouted for him and everything. But now, when he's under pressure, there is no one who could help him. He already lost some of his buildings, now he's going to lose barracks. Both of the players, Aegis and Prawsha, are pumping units here. Yeah, we even already see the second barracks, even temple, yeah, he's just going quickly for those priests. And, I mean, he lost all of his peasants at this point, and seems like Prawsha is actually going to die here. I'm still kinda scared of these legs that he will drop, but fortunately, no games were disconnected yet in the finals. So we will see. There is of course a nice fight here between hive stingers, but to be honest, Prawsha doesn't even care about it anymore. He can maybe slow them down, but the main thing is to stay here and try to destroy the town hall. Of course, Aegis has still 2 towns, so even if Prawsha dies, it's still 2v2. let's say, based on amount of expansions, but they can also expand, and they will have a variety of 2 races. Maybe if Suwak can escape with 1 peasant, he can get some resources from MaCrOzerg and rebuild somewhere, but that will be too slow. I think he would still, they would still die. MaCrOzerg would just fall to the pressure of all the units. They didn't fall yet. We see ton of units from MaCrOzerg, but the swordsmen from Aegis are just much stronger, and we still see ton of high stingers coming from Prawsha as well. If we take a look at the populations, of course we see that MaCrOzerg has way more population than anyone else, thanks to the expansion, of course. Unfortunately he has actually 3 hives, also spending resources on upgrades in incubator. So maybe he will be able to repel this eventually. The problem is that Suwak doesn't have any resources. He doesn't have even 1 peasant, doesn't have resources for 1 peasant only. Actually he has 1 peasant here, but I don't think he can do anything with that. Maybe receive some resources from MaCrOzerg for this swordsman. They somehow managed to repel this, but he has no economy right now. Right now I think Aegis and Prawsha need to do something really quickly. They either need to attack. Actually seems like MaCrOzerg is trying to... I mean, he expects an expansion, which was something I was just about to say that he should do, Prawsha or Aegis. But he could actually also just attack this before the tower is finished. I think they have enough damage to... they have power to actually push this. But of course, if Aegis comes to help, then it won't happen, and the tower will probably finish eventually. So yeah, 5 games in the finals maximum. It could be only just 3, but not anymore, since each team won 1. It's basically best of 5, so first team to get 3 wins will win the game. So we'll see. Right now we see some decent push. Wild Cocoon, okay, so I'm expecting flying hive stingers from Prawsha, but maybe he will surprise with hive guards. We will have to see. Tower is being finished here, but actually a really huge push. I don't think the tower will last. Even though Aegis is coming with ton of swordsmen here, we also see a huge army of MaCrOzerg that is going behind him. Probably going to swarm this and just destroy everything. But we'll have to see. Of course, still ton of resources for MaCrOzerg, even though he's not mining gems there. As you can see, he doesn't have too many of them, but doesn't seem like a problem for him, at least for now. Yeah, definitely MaCrOzerg is not... I mean, he might destroy this, but every time Prawsha and Aegis come here, they just destroy more and more of Prawsha's town, even though he's trying to... Sorry, not Prawsha's town, Suwak's town. Even though he's trying to rebuild it. At least he has some peasants now, but overall he's just losing a ton of everything. I think this was the biggest mistake maybe he made in the beginning, because he didn't lose his town hall when they rushed on his town, and he just lost all of his peasants. If he just retreated to the town hall, just saved them there, they would probably just survive. You have like 10 spots there, so you can definitely save ton of peasants, and then he would be totally fine. You just need to rebuild the town, but you would at least have the economy. Right now he's just totally relying on MaCrOzerg with everything. We see Prawsha actually going for the hive guards. As I said, that will be an option as well. We see another expansion from MaCrOzerg, basically the same play that we saw last time. I'm just waiting for the nightmares again. But as you can see, Prawsha is going here with his hive guards, trying to harass the villagers of MaCrOzerg. He has no towers there, but he needs to retreat because MaCrOzerg is pushing here with his high spitters. And together Prawsha and Aegis with the swordsman and hive guard, they can definitely repel this. We still don't see any towers here, so he'll probably just go there with his high spitters, trying to protect his peasants or harvesters, but he doesn't even have towers in his expansions, so definitely everything is pretty vulnerable to these flying units, and that might actually win the game to the team spirit. Even though actually the thing that won the game for them the most was probably the fact that they pretty well rushed on Suwak. But finally we also see expansion from Aegis and also expansion from Prawsha in the underground, so This is definitely nice. Of course, no gems here, but Prawsha probably doesn't need them for the Hive Guards. They are not that expensive, only 40 gems. It's mainly expensive on gold. Also, the first upgrades that you can make don't cost any gems, only the last ones for armor and attack. We see some extra harvesting or mining from the underground. Of course, it will be finished really soon. But yeah, I think Suwak is dead here. There is no way MaCrOzerg can get here on time with his ground army. Of course, the towers won't be able to deal with these Hive Guards. They won't do anything, so I think the towers are just dead. And that probably means that Suwak is also dead. He's trying to escape with some of his peasants. Probably going to rebuild an expansion somewhere. We'll have to see about this. We see some nice scouting. It's getting a little bit confusing who is actually with who, but you can kind of see it on the minimap really clearly. These guys are together, of course. Here we have the enemy. Yeah, but Suwak is dead. I don't think he has a single building. Actually, he has these two, so his army won't get destroyed, but I mean he has only peasants and 3 swordsmen. One is actually almost dead. One also a little bit injured. So they have interesting push here, but this is so mobile army, they can just get here immediately. He can just one-shot the spitters one by one, or not one-shot, but almost one-shot, two-shot, let's say. He also has the freeze damage, let's say, cold, which slows down the enemy. One of swordsman with trailblazing, which means fast movement speed. And also some priests that are keeping everything alive. They didn't destroy the barracks here, but I mean, he doesn't have any resources. He just can receive something from MaCrOzerg, who is now losing his resource advantage, economical advantage as well, because he's losing his main town income. Of course, really this is pretty interesting, but 4 Hive Stingers won't deal with the army of Hive Guards. Yeah, we see nice push. I think MaCrOzerg will also fall pretty soon. Of course, this is already GG. Since Suwak is already dead, and actually both Aegis and Prawsha already has an expansion now as well. But I think MaCrOzerg should still have the most amount of resources during the whole game. Of course, it depends how fast it will end, but he still has 2 expansions right now. So even though he's not mining too much in his main town, he still has better income than the other players, I think. It just really depends. Actually, we see Soul Scrap so late from Prawsha. He was just totally focusing only on Hive Guards, which means he doesn't get any experience from what he did. But at least now he's trying to fix it. We see just a ton of swordsmen from Aegis with some priests, which is of course really effective. He doesn't need to worry about ranged units because flying units will be killed by Hive Guards of Prawsha. Actually, MaCrOzerg rushed here with flying Hive Stingers. Didn't really see that, but I mean, that didn't really change anything, and as you can see, Aegis just retreated with his peasants to his castle. As I said, Suwak probably should have done, so at this point it doesn't really matter. MaCrOzerg and Aegis both have some resources, definitely should try to spend them now a little bit better. But we also see another rush of Hive Stingers here. He's just trying to slow down the economy of his enemies, but at this point it won't change much. To be honest, Suwak could receive some resources for an expansion at this point, even though actually MaCrOzerg doesn't even have wood. But the question is where he would build it. He could just rebuild it somewhere here, but that's pretty vulnerable. Or maybe fly here, but Prawsha has flying units, so that's also not safe. So overall I think there is not really anything that will be like too efficient. Prawsha like kinda scouting here, wanted to harass but don't want to lose too many Hive Guards to the tower and Hive Spitters, so he rather just retreated. Of course, a really huge army of Aegis, ton of swordsmen with priests. He doesn't even care about catapults, they will just die to the Hive Stingers. So this is more efficient. You see ton of Hive Stingers that are flying, they are trying to maybe drop on the priests, but priests are still pretty mobile, you can really easily defend them with swordsmen with trailblazing, and of course the Hive Stingers won't even get there because they will die to the Hive Guards basically immediately. Actually, some of them escaped, but what are they going to do here? Of course, he'll retreat to the tower. Maybe Aegis won't really push into that. I think he will retreat in a second. Otherwise, he will just lose all of his swordsmen here. But he has another army down here, together with the huge army of Prawsha that actually added a ton of hive stingers as well to his hive guards. So now it's even bigger. Suwak was defeated now. Of course, no spectate mode allowed, since I'm the referee here. But he didn't leave yet. Probably just waiting for the game to end. And this means that Team Spirit will actually get another point. Even though they actually lost the first game. Now they went from 1-0 to 1-2. Or actually 0-1 to 2-1 from their perspective. And if they win the next match, they will actually be the total winners. If they lose the next match, it will be 2-2 and we will go for the final game. So we will see how this will go. Actually, the next match I think is also on this map, so this is getting really a little bit annoying already. I don't really like this map too much, but basically no one really banned it, so it somehow just happened that it was chosen so many times. Suwak has left the game. For example, I really like No Man's Land, but unfortunately that was not picked a single time. Also, few teams banned it. Yeah, but let's check the results. Here we have the scores, units, actually pretty balanced, only Suwak just got totally destroyed there. Outside of that, it was really nice. Once again, MaCrOzerg totally going for ton of units, with ton of resources, of course. Actually, let's check the experience. Yeah, he has ton of experience, but he didn't have soul strap, so it didn't really count. And I mean, towards the end he had it, but before he didn't have it for a long time. And research is, I mean, he was making mainly one unit, so he didn't need more. MaCrOzerg, Aegis, kinda just everything they needed probably. Here you can see the results of the resources, yeah. Even though Suwak died so early, they still had more resources total, I think. It's like 21, actually basically the same results with the resources. So this is definitely interesting. Of course, they had half the gems, less wood as well, but overall, the gold, the most important thing, they had basically the same amount. However, just placing it all on one player is usually just not too wise, I would say. They need to diversify a little bit better, which seems to not really work for them on this particular map.